Hello everyone. So I've seen a lot of people on TikTok ask for a tutorial on how I do my terrain for my BR, Everyone Reawakened. So I am gonna do a tutorial for you guys. Firstly, you gotta go into the galleries content, obviously on your creative phone. Select nature and terrain on the gallery section and scroll down until you see Japanese Forest Nature Gallery. This is the gallery you're gonna need. Well, not the whole gallery, just this piece of terrain here and this piece of terrain here. We won't use much of this piece here, but the other piece, yeah, we will use a lot of it. Also select this one and this one. That's all. Right. So once you have those pieces, make sure you also have this from the Sand Biome Nature Gallery. I think that's what it's called in nature. But what we want to do is resize this to that and slightly in depth. So you have this kind of shape. This. If you want to do steep beaches, you can resize the height and do stuff like this, just steeper. But I'm going to do flat. I'm going to show you guys flat. So we'll flatten out a bit like this. So that's something like this. And now this is how you're going to do the shoreline. So we select this piece, then rotate it so it's perfectly aligned with the other piece. So you have no weird curve, like say for example I place it like that, then it's some stupid weird looking shape in it, like this and that. But when you put it in line like this, that looks so much better. You want to get this piece here, and this piece here. The first piece we're going to use is this piece. So what you want to do is select this piece, resize the width and depth and height. I may as well just do it all, but still. And then place one like this. So you have something like this. Now you see how it's all riggedy like that. We will fix that using more of the sand. We're doing that. There you go. So something like this. And now select this piece and resize it a tiny bit. And add something on the edge, like kind of like this. So you have something like that for the beach. Hold on, paste this here as well. So something like that for now. You also add a bit of sand here. It's not smooth. So that. So this is what it should look like. Your beaches. Obviously, you can do it around your entire map, whatever you build in, to make it look perfectly smooth. But now next, select this piece, and since you want to get rid of these lines and smoothen it out a bit, resize it. Make sure it's rotated a tiny bit so it's not touching the sand. You don't want it touching the sand, otherwise it ruins the smooth outline of where it connects. So place it like that. It still does have a kind of a line, but it's better than just have one straight line going through. It just makes it look really odd. And then place another one, but in the opposite direction, like this. And if it still does that, resize it and add little ones like this. It does add more lines, but it looks better than one big line in the way. like this. So now you have a nice smooth piece of terrain. And now that's done, that's how the shore, if you want to copy that process over the entire shoreline, if you want a flat shoreline, obviously. If you want a steep shoreline, you can just get this, resize the height, and place it down a bit. I haven't put the water barrier too high, so I can't really do it. But you can make it steep as you want to, just resize the height, but I'm doing it flat, obviously. But now that shoreline's done, I'm now going to show you how to do like the grasslands mid bit of the map terrain. So, for the terrain at the mid part of the map, you want to go into, I mean, if you can choose any, but I'm going to choose Bumpy Bay Nature Gallery and get the rocks, and also going to go into the Restored Reels Nature Gallery. So I'm going to go in there and select the piece of rubble. So now you have that. What you need these pieces, and you need that. So to make a mountain, if you want to make a mountain going into the map, you want to select this piece, resize it a bit large, and slightly turn it upwards like this. Obviously, that looks, right now it looks terrible. Obviously, we're gonna smooth it out a bit, get rid of the big line like this. Keep placing it until it looks really nice and smooth. There you go, that's better. You barely see the lines. And then obviously you see here we have this bit. You can either keep it and put rubble and decrease the height like this if you want to. This. Or you can just cover it up, which I am going to do because I personally think it looks better covered up. This. See, now here, this is a tough bit. So we have sand here, and then it's just that there. So what we need is select this piece, reduce the width and depth, increase the height, and place it there, like that. And then see, you've got another piece here, we'll do the exact same, decrease the height a little bit, and place it there. So now, you have a nice smooth little hill here. So no edges poking out. But now we do have a line here, so I will smoothen this out as well. Smoothen this out. Make sure it does not touch the sand. Okay. There you go, so that's nice and smooth. We have one more here. Here we are. So that's done. See this piece, you want to get another one of these and place it, make sure see the bottom right or mid right of the prop down there. Make sure it's touching the end of the other prop we've just placed. So like that. So now we have something like this, like a nice slope. So once that's done, you want to get this prop here, enlarge it through all, and place it on the end here. If it's too small, enlarge it again. I think, there we go, that's better. Like that. So now you have something like a mountain of this. Now, if you want to, you can keep the terrain, the cliff like this, just keep it plain, and add this all over it. Or you can We find the gallery. If you can go into, which gallery is it? In this gallery, the Japanese Full Nature Gallery, and select this piece here, and place it, slightly tilt it towards the terrain, and place it like this. You don't want like to place it like that, otherwise a bump will be poking out. So when it's curving downwards, tilt the prop downwards like that, so it's perfectly in line with the line. So it's a bit tricky, this one. You can do that, but if you want to, you will have to like cover it up with like some rock or something, some like big rock like that in a bit of terrain. But it's completely up to you. I'll keep that there. Now, once you've done that, place this all around the mountain. You don't have to. You can keep it plain if you want to. But I personally think it looks better than this. But you can do that for detail. And even if you want to, you can put some rocks inside the mountain. I put the same rock to rotate in it, saves memory. But you can do this like that. So now you have that bit done. That's a bit poking out. That's fine anyway. Part of that. So that side's done. If you want, say, this bit to go down into like terrain, I'll show you now. So you have to select that piece over there, put it slightly straight, so it's like on the end of the piece like that. So like that, there you go. Slightly pointing downwards, but straight as well at the top. Then select it again, tilt it even more downwards, and place it like that. And then make sure this goes up a bit, so this one points up a bit. So tilt it the opposite way you've just done. And place another one there. And this. So then you have something like a slope of this. But obviously you want to keep it a bit smooth, so you're going to add a bit more. Like this. That. To keep it smooth. You don't want it to be like really brigadeer. This should be fine. But if you want something like that, then that's there. You can also add the same thing I did here on this side. I'm going to keep it plain because it just looks better like that. I feel like putting rubble down slopes isn't good, but I think put on a cliff side is better. And now that's the hill terrain, or the mid terrain. You copy the process, do whatever you want. You can do it again if you want to put like a mountain, the opposite side of that. Make a little like a nice little area down here, just surrounded by two mountains. But that's mostly how I do my terrain. I will now show you how to do the pine tree mountains I have in my aerial map. So we need to go into Bumpy Bay Nature Gallery and select, I think it is this rock, and then you also need to go into the Japanese Forest Nature Gallery and select this rock here. So select both of those rocks. After that, go to Hill Terrain Prop, select that. I'll place it and select it in my hotbar so it's easier. So now once you have that, I'll show you how to do a mountain. So we'll do it here. So what you want to do first is kind of lay out the entrance of the mountain. So get this piece, do this, make sure remember it's smoothing out. Like that, just a bit smooth. And then, as you're going up, make sure it's connected to the side, the pieces, so like that for example, and that for example, a bit lower, like that. So now those pieces are connected. Once you've done that, select it again. If you want to make it thicker, then make it thicker like this, and then we add a bit more terrain down here so it's not hanging off the edge. There you go. So like that, nice smooth terrain there. And then get this piece. If you want to, you can keep it bumpy, you can keep the mountain bumpy if you want to, add rocks and stuff. But I prefer making it smooth like that. So increase the depth and width. And then what you want to do is get the piece and start placing it like this. Make sure it's not that slopey, you don't want that slopey like yet. So keep placing it like this. And make sure as you keep placing it, you get thinner and thinner. So see what I'm doing now? It's pointing inwards. So it's getting thinner and thinner and thinner. Like, and then as you keep going, you want to start decreasing the width. Like that. So you should have something like that. It is a bit bumpy, that is, but I can't help that. Otherwise, there'll be loads of pieces of sticking out. But once you have that, now get this piece here. Should be indestructible. I did not get the indestructible one, but make sure you get the indestructible piece, because otherwise you'll be able to break into the mountains we don't want. I'm just going to use this piece because I can't be able to find the next one. But once you have this piece, put it on the sides of the mountains, so like this. So keep repeating this. As you get to the top, keep resizing it smaller and smaller. Like that. So once that side's done, that's what it should look like. Now obviously we will rotate and add more rocks to make it not look just repairable and just constantly placed. But once you've done that, select the biggest rock, then start moving it around like this, just rotating it anyway. There we go. So it gives some more like a pattern and texture to the actual cliff, instead of it making it look just bland and just copied over and over again. So then the wall, which carry on this process for the entire thing. I won't do the entire thing, but keep going until you're at the bottom of the terrain. Let me add some terrain down here. So say you were doing that and it connects your terrain. What you want to do after that is get the rubble piece and add some stones, rubble around here to make it blend into the terrain, and then also add quite chunky rocks down here, so it adds the detail like that. See, for this bit here, just repeat what I did on this side here. Just repeat this, so then it gives a bit more detail. Now with the top, this bit here, you want to go into the gallery. Well, for the top here, you want to go and select this rock here. Let me see what side it's on. Now rotate it so it's like this. Point it upwards like this. And you want to increase the width, fucking hell, and increase the height. So now you have something like that. If you want to, you can rotate it upwards a bit to make it a little point. But then you have something like that. obviously you don't have to do it with this shape. You can do the same process, just not this shape, because it looks very, very pointy, if I'm being honest. You can obviously put dips in the terrain and then make it go up, or whatever you want to do. You can do whatever. But once you have that, you can repeat the process across the entire mountain. So then it looks complete. So that's how I do my mountains. If you want to know how to do my nature on the pine as well, you want to go to this gallery. Hold on, let me find it. Tip Top Terrace Nature Gallery. Get these trees. No, this tree. And the bush. And then go into the Bumpy Bay Nature Gallery. Select this piece here of, like, I don't know, like lily pads or something, leaves. That. Select this tree and go into Tip Top Terrace and select this piece here. So you should have this piece, the bush, this tree, this grass. We will make it bigger. That's how big it should be. And this tree. So these are the props you need for your nature. So what we're going to do now, let me move these up here. So what we want to do first is select this one here and then blend it in with the sides. So like that. It might not be the same color. I think I chose the wrong one. But make sure you get the right one that's like actually blends the same color. But you don't have to do it all down the sides. Just do it like that, and then maybe some in the middle, like this, like that. Maybe one at the top of that. So like this, and it adds the bushes. So one here, one here, one here. Don't make them big bushes, by the way. Make them small bushes. Put big bushes on the mountains. It makes them look just bulge out. Look, if I do a regular bush on a mountain, look, it just bulges out. It just looks ugly. So put small bushes and put them half inside the mountain. Then select this piece here, this tree. Make sure you rotate it on roll to make sure the trunk of the tree is pointing towards, not fully pointing, but just rotate it towards the point. And then put it inside the mountain like this. So it gives it this grassy texture. Like that. And then add these leaves. And then it doesn't matter if they're off the ground or not. And then put them on or in between the rocks. Like this. Like that. So you should come up with this type of thing for the nature. And then finally, add the trees. So don't add too many trees. Add like one here, one here, one there, and maybe one there, one there. So something like this. So you have a mountain with pine trees on it. Obviously down here it will be different trees, such as like these trees or something, or whatever trees you use. But these are the trees I use. What I prefer using. Then just add bushes from where the trees are, and then add the rocks. Like that. That's how I do my nature and terrain. I hope you guys have enjoyed my tutorial, and I hope it helps. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Have a great day.